the British Truck Racing Championship, brought to you by HGV Direct and Fleetguard. Hello and welcome to Brands Hatch, the final meeting of the 2016 British Truck Racing Championship. A huge number of races to get through this weekend, a very strong European contingent here as well. So some great racing coming up. Let's go down and get some interviews and catch up on some of the gossip before racing gets underway. Right, interesting Pembrey debut for you, but I gather a change of truck this weekend.
Yeah, we do like to jump in at the deep end. Got used to the truck at Pembrey, which was Steve Thomas's truck, and felt quite good, even though the conditions at Pembrey were really bad. But managed to get on the podium with a third on the Sunday, got a fifth, a fourth and a third, so I was well pleased with that. And then probably too happy about that, so I thought I'd change trucks. So here we are now in Ryan Smith's truck. Running under OXO, and the idea was to next season probably work with OXO, with Ryan, and obviously in the OXO truck, which is their own brand. But so far, obviously the conditions here today and even yesterday were terrible, so not really got a good feel for the truck at the moment.
Do you feel the pressure, because obviously taking what is champion-elect effectively this truck, are you going to feel pressure next year?
No pressure. Yeah, there is obviously that. Ryan was obviously a good driver and he had a good truck. So, you know, let's see how near I can get to follow in his footsteps, but I think it's a long way off at the moment.
Shane, so you're back up and running. Last time we saw you was that heavy crash at Pembrey. Tell us what the damage was and how much effort's gone into getting you back out on circuit.
There was an awful lot of damage, and my lads have been fantastic. I've had a friend drove over to Germany. Jochen's been fantastic. He even took a load of parts off his own lorry to get ours going, so everyone's mucked in. Fantastic. It's good.
It must have been gutting to have that accident. It was a very wet, tricky conditions there at Pembrey, but these things do happen in racing from time to time, I guess.
Yeah, it was just unfortunate. There was a massive puddle on that corner and it just come in, went out the inside of Stuart. He didn't see me. I had to go to the puddle, and that aquaplaned. There isn't much in the way of runoff when it's wet there.
It's great to see you back, and obviously we wish you well for this weekend.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks, mate. First race of what promises to be a mammoth weekend. It always is here at Brands Hatch, whether it's the beginning of the season or indeed the end. This is the beginning of the end. Stuart Oliver on pole position, Ryan Smith champion-elect, I think we have to say, alongside outgoing champion Matt Summerfield on row 2 with Shane Brereton, Simon Reed and Michael Oliver on row 3. Ollie James at the back, just behind Luke Garrett and David Taylor, deputising once again for Luke Taylor, but out front Stuart Oliver looking to get the weekend underway with a win. Just a point needed by Ryan Smith in the 88 truck to secure the championship. Away we go. Smith, of course, with the 49-point championship lead. There are 50 points up for grabs potentially this weekend, and it's Stuart Oliver that leads. Matt Summerfield looking down the inside of Ryan Smith with Shane Brereton in that rebuilt 77 right behind, and at the moment Stuart Oliver holds sway in the Kelsa 7. Ryan Smith in second. Ryan only needs to finish in the top 10 here, and that's if Stuart Oliver wins. Stuart Oliver would need to win every single race here this weekend, with Ryan Smith not picking up a single point. So really I think the mathematicians amongst us know that it is Ryan's championship, but of course Stuart Oliver has already set a very strong message in qualifying by that pole position. He's a fighter. He's not going to give up until the championship points can no longer go in his favour. There's Dave Jenkins challenging Shane Brereton. So Shane in 4th place at the moment. Matt Summerfield in blue is ahead as well. Let's not forget the massive achievement that Matt Summerfield has in truck racing over the last few seasons. 4 championship titles on the bounce. And of course prior to that, Dave Jenkins there in the black 69 was champion in 2011. But it looks like we're going to see a new name on the British Truck Racing Championship trophy this weekend. Stuart Oliver goes through. Ryan Smith still second, then Summerfield in the number 1, followed by Brereton, Jenkins, Simon Reed is next in 89, then Ray Coleman, followed by Michael Oliver. A little bit of a damp circuit, so it's going to be tricky for these lads, and of course at the start of the meeting you need to keep the truck in one bit. This is the only race of the meeting where the fastest driver from qualifying starts on the front. All of the other races are going to be reverse grids. We've got some guest drivers from overseas racing this weekend as well, and we'll see them in some of the other races. We've got the Smith brothers back out with us. Manuel Rodriguez is here as well. Mika Bakkonen racing too. But there is Ray Coleman, who's adapting to this truck very well indeed here at Brands Hatch, you've got to say. So that number 2 machine, just to put in perspective the interview we did with Ray at the start of the programme, that is Ryan Smith's truck that he's been using all year. Ryan is back in his old truck now and looking to wrap up the championship with the machine that he used last year. Still in 2nd position at the moment as we focus on Ray Coleman and Simon Reed immediately ahead. This is the battle for the lead though. Stuart Oliver out front, Ryan Smith is immediately behind, and this one feels could well be a big game of cat and mouse between these two. Here's the view from Ryan Smith along Cooper Straight into Surtees, the left-hander, McLaren the right-hander, then around into Clearways, and Ryan Smith is closing up. The Oxo truck, also backed by PT Hire, is putting Stuart Oliver under pressure. Brands Hatch, for my money, one of the trickier circuits to race on. Luke Garrett in 42, followed by Ollie James in the Freightliner, and up ahead of them Steve Powell. Of course, Steve last year's Division 2 champion, and this the end of his first campaign in Division 1, a year that he's developed the truck through the year, and we saw him taking podia at Pembrey. Here's the battle for the lead again. Stuart Oliver's still there. Ryan Smith knows that a good, clean, fair race is what we want. This is Cooper Straight. Smith matching Oliver at the moment for pace, getting really closer in the twists and turns through Surtees and up into McLaren, now into Clearways. Smith could probably afford to go a little bit wider if he wanted to and maybe have a run down the main straight. Oliver maintains the gap. It's closing up now along the straight, and here comes Ryan Smith having a look on the outside line. I don't think Smith's got enough momentum to make this stick, but is he going to be big and brave and go for the outside at Paddock? He knows he didn't have the speed, couldn't quite close up, but he's having a good go. A little bit of tail end happiness from the 42 machine, and Luke Garrett still coming under pressure from Ollie James. James was looking at the inside line then. Luke Garrett driving right on the edge. Garrett's had a miserable end to the season so far. So Matt Summerfield goes through in 3rd place, the top 2 getting away. Summerfield in 3rd, 4th place Shane Brereton, 5th is David Jenkins. This is a very settled race and yet a close race where, look at this for the lead, still Stuart Oliver there, and Oliver really is having to hug the curbs here to go defensive. Summerfield still 3rd from Brereton. David Jenkins in the Digraph truck is there as well, but it's Stuart Oliver in the Volvo that leads the quartet of MANs. Look at the gap now between 2nd and 3rd place, virtually the length of the Brabham Straight here at Brands Hatch. Now, of course, the drivers know that it is a reverse grid race for race number 2. Simon Reed still dicing with Ray Coleman. Great shot of Ray on the outside there. He's going to have a look up the inside line now, around the outside of the truck as they went through Clark Curve. Ryan Smith, this is the view coming down from Druids to hairpin into Graham Hill Bend. You've got to watch for track limits here. Steve Powell and Luke Garrett having a good battle, reminiscent of course of their superb battles that we had last year with them fighting for the Division 2 title. And Steve Powell in the Lennon machine still out front. Look at Ollie James though, trying to still get on terms with Luke Garrett. So a possible three-way scrap developing between those. Still got the double header out front, and the three-way battle on for the last podium position between Summerfield, Brereton and Jenkins. But Steve Powell at the moment seems in the Lennon truck to have the measure of Luke Garrett. Here they come up to Druids. Garrett goes through, then Ollie James in 22, 9th, 10th and 11th position in this race. Stuart Oliver still leading. Ryan Smith's on the best laps, slightly the better of the two. But Stuart Oliver, of course, in the lead has track advantage and can pick where he wants to place his truck. There's Michael Oliver running in 8th place, as we said. Steve Powell running in 9th position at the moment. Lights ablaze for Ollie James, who's trying to close down on them. And they're being caught by the race leader. Stuart Oliver is still there, but look at this continued pressure from Ryan Smith. Now this is a very physically demanding circuit. It's one of the shortest tracks that the British Truck Racing Championship competes on, and there are a lot of twists and turns, so this is relentless stuff. Relentless defence of the lead by Stuart Oliver out front in Kelso 7, and Ryan Smith in the PT Hire Oxo truck in second place is hounding him. I'm not sure who has the more difficult job, whether it's attacker or defender. Smith hasn't got anybody behind him, so he can focus very much on the task in hand. Simon Reed, 6th place. Ray Coleman in 7th position in the number 2, and Coleman adapting well. Good to see Simon Reed on circuit again, of course, the former Division 2 champion. PT Hire Oxo truck still piling the pressure on here, but it's Stuart Oliver holding sway as they start to approach back markers. Ollie James the first of the back markers. Stuart Oliver is closing up on him. Ryan Smith here, if he takes second place, will secure the championship, but he wants to take a win. James, great driving from Ollie James, pulls wide, allows the lead battle through. So remember, the champion-elect is the second truck here. The multi-former champion Stuart Oliver out front. This has been a good, clean race so far. And look at Ryan Smith now, looks to the outside line again. Is he going to go and dip back on the inside? Paddock still staying out wide. Stuart Oliver still in front. Ryan Smith wants to finish with a win. I guess a podium would be a terrific finish for him. And remember, this is the truck he used last year. He's going on the outside line at Drews, but I don't think the truck will have the grip on the outside line there. It's not for the want of trying by Ryan Smith. This has been a great drive from both of these drivers. Still Stuart Oliver out front into Graham Hill Bend. Ryan Smith is trying absolutely everything, and these drivers have got to think about track limits. There's so much energy. Look at that. Defence from Oliver, comes back out wide for the racing line into Surtees, and then gets the truck over, grabs the curb. There's no room at the end for the 88 truck to come through. Ryan Smith now has got to try the outside line. This is more akin to a Formula Ford line, and that might give him momentum on the straight. Well, look, we've got a three-way scrap for third place. The race fans here at Brands Hatch are being treated to some real beautiful truck racing here. Clean, fair. 2 trucks for the lead, 3 trucks for third place. Dave Jenkins well placed here. Shane Brereton is challenging for third. He wants to get on the podium as well. Across the line they go, on to the last lap. 1.2 miles of the Indy circuit at Brands Hatch. Smith again tries the outside line. He knows the championship's in the bag, but he's putting on a great performance here for the race fans. He wants to get the win. Oliver will not leave a fag papers room down the inside. And Smith is being frustrated here by Oliver. They're both driving superbly. Smith again goes on the attack. He's going to have an early look down the inside. Oliver dives across to the inside. This is compromising Oliver's lap times for sure. Ryan Smith's got the fastest lap of the race. That was back on lap 12. I don't think they're going to lap Luke Garrett. Ollie James is going to remain the only man lapped, but it looks like Stuart Oliver has got the win, and it's going to be the win for Oliver and the championship to Ryan Smith as they come up to the checkered flag. Our congratulations to race winner Oliver and this year's champion Ryan Smith. Here comes Matt Summerfield, who's got the best of this three-way scrap. The outgoing champion is going to finish on the podium here, crosses the line now, ahead of Shane Brereton. So win for Stuart Oliver, Ryan Smith second, Matt Summerfield third from Shane Brereton and David Jenkins, then Simon Reed and Ray Coleman seventh, Michael Oliver in 8th, Steve Powell in 9th, Luke Garrett 10th, Ollie James finished in 11th place, the fastest lap, going to the new champion, Ryan Smith.
I'm going to jump in. I think he's not been speechless all year. Ryan, many congratulations, mate.
Words can't describe that feeling when you finally know. There's a big turnout today at Brands Hatch, and I wanted to put a big congratulations. Great race, really enjoyed that. There's a big crowd turned out today in this bad weather, and I wanted to have a fight with Stuart, and we had a fight, and that's probably sums this championship up. What it's been like all year. Amazing. Honestly, you said before I took my helmet off you've never seen me speechless. I'm speechless. The team, the sponsors, a big thank you to Stuart from PTI, who without him and the team and getting the team together, Stuart and PTI have achieved, they have a rental truck company and best in the UK, and it's shown on the track what we can do. If you want a few words with him.
Stuart, what were you thinking out there?
Sweating a little bit. I would have liked to have seen him win that race, but the championship was what it was all about. So, really pleased with him.
Well, what a race. Absolutely incredible. Wonderful piece of truck racing.
Yeah, that's it. There's certain guys you can race like that with, and there's certain, just where he had the advantage, I had the advantage, so you've just got to play it to your favour. I was in the front, so I was fortunate able to do that. But, it was some great battling, and I knew he wasn't going to take any chances, so, he needed to finish so he can celebrate tonight his championship, which is fair play to him. He's done really well,
And if the rest of the weekend's like that, we're in for a treat.
Absolutely, The reverse grid kicks into place now, so that's when the action really starts. So looking forward to it.
Welcome back to the grid, Wayne. Good to see you, mate. Is this a rebuilt truck or a new one?
No, it's rebuilt. It's Luke Garrett's old truck, which we've recabbed. So yeah, I think it looks a lot better, a lot prettier. So yeah, a lot of effort gone into it.
Looks really good. And you had a test day yesterday. Did that all go well?
Not so good first session. We had a shock problem. Second session was proper wet, and it was good, really good. Liked it in the wet. Yeah.
The thing I love about this championship is that people come into it at all times of year. I mean, you could have left it till next year to come back on track, but you've come out for this huge meeting. That says a great deal about the appeal of the competition. I
think, yeah, definitely, and I think there's more to it than that as well. I think it's like you've never been away. Everybody treats you like you're part of a big family, so it's nice. We've been away for nearly 18 months now, and it's like we've never been away. It's great. Yeah, the people in the championship are great.
What are the hopes with the new truck? So it's one presumably you haven't raced before.
No, I mean, hopes are good. It feels good. Blow a few cobwebs out of both the truck and myself. I think come the start of next year should be really good. And obviously we got Joe's to put right, get ready for next year. So we'll both be back with a vengeance in 2017.
Division 2 trucks about to get underway. Last meeting of the year, of course, for them. Franz Smith on pole, Mika Mäkinen alongside then Adam Bint and Simon Cole, Roddy Smith, John Bowler row 3, followed by Marco Dog and Manuel Rodriguez, John Powell and Paul McCumbsky on the 5th row of the grid, and they're followed by Trevor Martin and Wayne Eason, Ryan Coulson with Brad Smith, and then Jim Bennett and Brian Burt. So Truck Sport have put together a brilliant format this weekend. We've got, this is incredible, Division 2, 16 trucks out there. So more races, more trucks on the grid, and it's all about to be unleashed, the ultra competitive Division 2. This division already, of course, sewn up at Pembrey by Adam Bint. I know Adam wanted to announce it here or secure it here because it is a bigger meeting, but he's done that already, and we'll see what he can do from third on the grid. And away we go. Roddy Smith was very nearly into the back end of Adam Bint there, 3 wide into Paddock Hill Bend, the inside line occupied by the red 75 Volvo of Marco Donk. Manuel Rodriguez in the 94 in his Volvo, the bonneted Volvo, going up the hill, looking around the outside line. John Bowler is in the mix as well. Wayne Eason goes through, and then Trevor Martin. Good to see Brad Smith out on circuit as well. This is the run down into Graham Hill Bend for the first time. Of course, more trucks potentially means more trouble on circuit. We saw a really good, clean race to get the Division 1s underway, and let's hope for more of the same here. Circuit conditions not ideal. Fran Smith in front. Mika Mäkinen is in second place. Then it's the 41 coming through. Simon Cole was the second of the British qualifiers in the qualifying session. Manuel Rodriguez putting pressure on Paul McCumsky. Mäkinen goes to the outside line. The 45-year-old Finn putting the pressure on Fran Smith. Simon Cole leading Brit at the moment in the 41 machine. And I tell you what, Fran Smith is doing a Stuart Oliver here, keeping the truck on the right line, defending well. It's the Mad Croc machine in second place who's going to have to attack. I know the fans said it before, love the bonneted trucks. They love seeing this contingent from overseas. Adam Bint challenging for third place. Binty, the champion, will want to finish up if he can with a podium in this race. There is Cole ahead of Bint at the moment. Simon Cole's had some bad luck over the course of the season, but has been very, very fast indeed. And he's putting pressure on, or being put under pressure at the moment by Adam Bint. But we go back to the race leaders. It's Fran Smith still there in blue. Mika Mäkinen goes wide here. This could be about getting a run into Paddock Hill Bend. He's got a little bit to do. Remember, these trucks top out at 100 miles an hour. And Mäkinen, they'll get up to a point when there's no more to come from the truck. And I think that's possibly what's happened. Mäkinen, you can see, not closing in. They're both at full chat. It looks like they're very well within the rules on that matter. And then, of course, it's all about how they slow down, how they approach the corners. Fran Smith doing a super job out front at the moment. So Smith is the race leader from the Finn. Third position is a three-way scrap now with Simon Cole still there. Coming up is Rody Schmidt. Then John Powell in the number 6. John, remember, still in with a shout, a significant shout of taking second position in the championship. And John's had a great season. At one point you could hardly get the man off the podium. He was that quick. As now through on the inside line goes Mäkinen. Mäkinen takes the lead. Fran Smith is relegated to second, and that is Wayne Eason off into the gravel. That might instigate the safety truck, or maybe a red flag. We'll have to wait and see. Wayne in his new truck is off in the gravel. Oh, big sideways moment for Simon Cole, and Binty was almost in the wrong place, but now pops it up the inside line, side by side with Simon Cole. Cole's getting the momentum back here after going sideways, but Binty comes out of the corner, goes through. Rody Schmidt might try and look on the inside line as well. The 41 machine doesn't look happy at the moment. It looks very, very tail happy. Here they come down into Paddock Hill Bend. So Adam Bint up into third place. Rody Schmidt is in fourth position. Fifth place now is Simon Cole. They go past, and look at that! Off onto the gravel goes Adam Bint, but he keeps it going. And the CMG truck is back on circuit, but loses those places. We very nearly had a truck park in the gravel there. Wayne Eason was probably a little bit worried that he was going to get collected in the gravel as well. So back with the battle for the lead. Mika Mäkinen there from Fran Smith. A big gap back to third place. And it's Rody Schmidt there at the moment. Simon Cole seems to have tamed the 41, the Beast. Then we've got Manuel Rodriguez who's having a good race. Marco Donk is in behind in his Volvo as well. Rodriguez going wide. So I said about taming the Beast. The back end wanting to break away still on the 41 machine. So Simon Cole in the St George's European Mercedes runs wide through on the inside line. Goes Manuel Rodriguez. I'll tell you what, Simon Cole is fighting that truck. This is a drive and a half from Simon. Sure, he's not at the front, but he's battling that machine real hard. Into Paddock Hill Bend they go. The big drop away. Off. Talking of dropping away, off goes the arch on the 41 truck. Rody Schmidt still in third place, so the Schmidt brothers second and third at the moment, with the Finn Mika Mäkinen leading. Here's Marco Donk in 75. Mackinnon pulling away in the 71 at the moment. The fastest lap of the race is with Manuel Rodriguez. And there he is, looking at the inside line. He's got John Bowler immediately behind him. Bowler's having a good race of this one at the moment. John in the 14 truck. But Rodriguez, fastest man on the track, and he is putting pressure on Rhodey Smith at the moment. Now, having said that, Manuel Rodriguez has now been given a 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits. So let's hope that track limits wasn't on his fastest lap. Paul McCumbsky there, the recovering Adam Bint, this year's champion. Binty, be interesting to see what he wants to do next season, whether he'll step up or maybe come back. Either way, it's going to be a treat to see Adam racing. We're on the last lap. Pressure here from Fran Smith, who's having a very good look at Mika Mackinnon at the moment. The international flavour of this meeting, as ever, absolutely brilliant. Mackinnon looks like he's going to hold on. Fran Smith here, I think he's going to be denied. Mackinnon has got 5 or 6 truck lengths clear. Trevor Martin in the 19 machine is running in 11th place. He's the back marker that they're closing up on. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to lap Trevor, but Mackinnon being closed down. Fran Smith is going to chase him all the way to the flag, but I don't think that Smith is going to be able to overcome the mad croc. The Finn looks like he's going to take the win out of Clark Curve and onto the Brabham straight. Now, having said that, Smith is looking at the inside line, but Mika Mackinnon takes the win from Fran Smith. 0.2 of a second is the gap. A further 5 seconds back is Rhodey Schmidt, with Simon Cole here still ahead of John Bowler. Bowler's actually a lap down, but he's keeping pace with the 41 machine. John Bowler in 12th place, so it's going to be Simon Cole in 4th position, and Simon's going to be top Brit, but look at Rodriguez round the outside on the grass. Marco Donk will take 5th, but Simon Cole is top Brit here at Brands Hatch. Confirmation of the result: Mackinnon from Fran Smith, then Rhodey Smith, Simon Cole top Brit from Marco Donk, Manuel Rodriguez, Paddy Mack 2nd Brit, Adam Bint 3rd Brit, and then it was Jim Bennett, John Powell, Trevor Martin and John Bowler.
Great drive to 2nd place, very close race.
Yes, it was a very close race with Mika. Track was very slippery. When you are 2 seconds too late with the brakes, you are gone. It's a very hard race, but also good.
Great to see you at Brands again. You obviously love Brands Hatch. It's a shame we can't see you a little bit more.
Yes, when we get some sponsorship, we can come to the other rounds, but the last round of the year is the best.
Well done, 3rd place. You came up the most places from the grid, because I think you started on row 3.
Yes, that's correct. I was position number 5. And then we had a hell of a start, but in front of me Adam did something with the gears, and I hit him just a little bit, but we survived. Everybody survived, and then it was pushing to get the old two back. It was hard, but it was very fun, and it was a good race. Yeah.
Well, the banner says it all. Adam Bint is the 2016 Division 2 truck champion. Adam, many congratulations on that. How does it feel having that title coming to the last meeting?
Totally over the moon. All of us put in so much work for this. The whole team, the sponsors, CMG have helped us out so much this year, and it's come a little bit too early for us because we wanted to take it to Brands Hatch and win it here, but we've got it. So now this weekend we can just go and have some good fun racing.
And you've had some stiff competition. I mean, you know, look at Simon Cole's been quick, John Powell's been very quick as well. Class 2's been so competitive.
Yeah, it is. The racing this year has been absolutely out of this world. Last year it was okay, but now this year we had so many different trucks competing all at the same pace. The racing, next year I want to come back and defend the title in Division 2 because the racing was just brilliant this year.
An incredible set of show trucks again here at Brands Hatch. Best light commercial won by Michael Summer. Best customised truck and best company owned going to Tom Nutt and Son. Best fleet was Daz Transport. Best semi-custom EW Gardeners. Best American going to KM Commercial. Best interior KC Transport. Best recovery special types to Cedars. Best owner operator Nick Revitt, and the best rigid, which also won best in show, FG Fonds and Son. Congratulations to all.
So Ricky Collett, great to see. This is the new truck, I understand.
It's the new truck. It's taken us a whole year to get it here, but
and a bit longer.
But not a very auspicious start, I'm afraid. We've got the dipping bits now.
Tell us about the build first of all. What is it?
It's an MAN, basic D28, the old obsolete engine. Everything else is new-ish. As I say, it's taken us longer to get it bolted together than we thought. We're actually using this as just running in now, this meeting. We were trying to get it to another circuit, but we couldn't.
But good to come out for this one because you get the branding and the colours and yourself seen in front of a huge crowd.
That's it, yeah. It's great to be back at Brands, yeah.
How are you seeing truck racing change over the last couple of seasons? Because we've seen faster trucks coming in. Do you think this new one will measure up to some of those fast machines out there?
I'm hoping so. That's the whole point of the new build rather than the refurbing the old truck. There's a lot more FIA trucks coming across to race in our championship, so obviously we've got to keep up.
The second Division 2 race of the weekend saw victory for Franz Smith. Paddy Mack second from Rhodey Smith, then Manuel Rodriguez and Jim Bennett in fifth. Marco Donk sixth, Trevor Martin and Brian Burt. Wayne Easton in ninth, Adam Bint in 10th place from Mika Mackinnon and John Powell. Non-finishes for Ryan Colson and Simon Cole. Fastest lap, Rhodey Smith.
Thoughts on your first season in Division 1 though?
It's a different kettle of fish. Last year I had a very good season, so obviously this year we've jumped up to Division 1, and there are some very experienced drivers in there. So it's been a struggle. I'm still enjoying it, which is the main thing. Hopefully we can come back with something faster and be up there again next year.
That'd certainly be good to see. We're going to let you enjoy your Brands Hatch meeting anyway. It's always cold, isn't it, in November, but truck racing seems to warm us up.
Yeah, it's very cold. It's even colder on track. It just seems the wind seems to come from everywhere. But yeah, I love Brands Hatch, so hopefully we have a good results.
Okay, we wish you well for it. Thanks for talking to us.
Thanks very much. Thanks, mate.
Luke Garrett starts on the outside of the front row for race 4. To his inside, Ollie James. Row 2, Steve Powell and Michael Oliver. Then it's Ray Coleman and Simon Reed, followed by Dave Jenkins and Shane Brereton. Matt Summerfield and Ryan Smith. And then we get Stuart Oliver, Ricky Collett, Dave Taylor, Mika Mackinnon, Marco Donk, Manuel Rodriguez, Rhodey Schmidt and Franz Smith off the back. A full grid. And it's Ollie James who's champing at the bit here, wants to get away, lead position. Michael Oliver has to check up a little bit, does so well, goes to the outside line, 3 wide into paddock. Steve Powell up the inside line, but the race leader is Ollie James. Look how crowded this is. Look at the crowd in the background as well, enjoying the truck racing here on a cold but bright day at Brands Hatch. Up into Druids they go with Ollie James the leader. Garrett and Powell side by side for second position. And off goes Garrett onto the grass, and just look how many trucks are piling through on the inside. At least they're not piling into him, so he loses places. Ricky Collett in his brand new truck there as well. The HGV Direct Bat 95 is being forced wide. Here is Ryan Smith, the champion. Both championship titles now settled. So it's James from Powell. It's Ray Coleman in third place. There is Matt Summerfield, quadruple champion, 4 on the bounce for Matt Summerfield, and that will stand in the history books. And I've no doubt that we're going to see Matt Summerfield come back and fight to reclaim the British Truck Racing Championship. What a sight these machines make. We've got some of the European visitors running from the back of the grid, and of course that means that the race fans here get to see more trucks on circuit. Here's the view from Ryan Smith. Ahead of him is Shane Brereton, the West Countryman, but it's Ollie James out front. James looking pretty handy here, and sometimes you need the rub of the green, maybe a reverse grid race off the front to bag a win. James has had a podium this year, and if he gets away, he could be in with a shout of this race. Steve Powell coming under pressure from Ray Coleman. Coleman goes to the inside, then switches to the outside line. There is James. We go back to the scrap for second place, which at the moment has 3 machines dicing all over it, and sideways moment behind those guys for Michael Oliver in number 12, but he collects it all up. He stays in 5th position, and it's Steve Powell second, but they're forming a queue behind Powell at the moment. So Steve Powell from Ray Coleman, who thinks about going to the inside line. He knows that Powell was going to cover that. Dave Jenkins right in behind. Then coming through is Simon Reed past Michael Oliver, then Ryan Smith. Reed in front. Oh, Ryan Smith! And Smith goes through on the inside of Oliver. Matt Summerfield on the inset was going to follow through, and it's contact because Matt Summerfield clashes with the number 12. There's contact between Summerfield and Oliver. Are they both going to be out of the race, or are they going to limp on? Steve Powell defending well. Summerfield going the wrong way, and he's going to rejoin. The MSA Blue Book, the Racing Bible, tells you to rejoin when it's safe. He certainly rejoined when it was safe to do. He waited for everybody to go past. Ryan Smith on the inside line now of Ray Coleman. So old truck passes Ryan's new truck. And it's Steve Powell still in second place. Ryan Smith looks to the inside. Now pops it out to the outside line. Ray Coleman here could probably learn from Ryan Smith's line. I don't think he's going to be able to go around the outside as well. Powell knows that Smith is there. He's going to give Ryan Smith room, and this is going to give the Oxo truck, the Oxo PT Hireman, more momentum around the outside line. He is challenging hard here for second place as they head to Druids. Welcome back to Brands Hatch. Ryan Smith was looking very determined around the outside line, but Steve Powell holds on. He's the race leader. Ollie James in the Briarwood Freightliner is well clear at the moment. Steve Powell knows now that he's been on the podium a few times that he has the truck beneath him to defend as well as he's doing at the moment. Dave Jenkins there ahead of Ray Coleman. Then it's Simon Reed followed by Shane Brereton in the silver and blue 77. Ryan Smith has got to go for the burn up round the outside, and he's doing it now. So there goes Ryan Smith. He's got his nose in front as they go across the line and completes the manoeuvre by the time they get to Paddock Hill Bend. Smith into second. Steve Powell is third. Dave Jenkins now in fourth place in the Digraph 69. He will have watched the lines that Powell was taking in his battle with Ryan Smith, and he'll probably know he's got to do that outside line as well. But he's got Ray Coleman behind him. A bit of a gap back to Ricky Collett. He's out testing his new machine. Collett in the brand new MAN is in the top 10. He'll bag some points here. Brereton and Simon Reed going side by side. A wee bit of contact between the two. Reed getting it sideways. Then we've got Stuart Oliver. Oliver second in the championship. Through goes Ryan Smith getting away from Steve Powell, and Dave Jenkins has got to work out how he can get past. And whilst he does that, they're all forming a queue behind him. So this is really making the scrap for second place into a multi-truck battle here, with the Lennon machine holding sway at the moment. The Digraph 69 has got to try and deal here with Ray Coleman. Coleman now has obviously got the tools to do the job, and Dave Jenkins goes down the inside line. He saw the gap, he went for it, and that was brave but confident stuff from Jenkins, and that's the move of a former champion. Jenkins goes through. Powell is on the outside now and gets hung out to dry, loses a shed load of places. Coleman looking on the outside of Dave Jenkins. That is brave as well, going through Druids. It's going to allow Shane Brereton through, but Coleman trying to hang on to it, and Coleman's got the inside line here, down into Graham Hill Bend. Should be able to nip third place back. Fourth place, I should say, because the race leader, of course, is Ollie James still out front. Ryan Smith second. Dave Jenkins there in 69 is third. And Ray Coleman held on to his guns there and holds on to that fourth place. And it's Shane Brereton immediately behind. We've got a couple of track limit penalties, I think, that are going to be dished out in this one as well, as Coleman goes on the inside line here and up into third place. Ray Coleman passes Dave Jenkins and goes through. Coleman up into third. Jenkins relegated to fourth in the Digraph machine. He's going to look at the outside line and try and get it back, but Shane Brereton's coming up as well. So Jenkins under big pressure. There's Ryan Smith, he's second. We're watching a multi-truck battle for third. Coleman, battle-scarred truck, battle-scarred Galactica, I guess we might be able to call that one. Here's Ricky Collett at the moment, down behind this battle while he gets to grips with his new truck. But look at Coleman out front. Brereton is behind him now, with Jenkins up ahead of Steve Powell. Then Simon Reed is there as well. Ryan Smith has caught the race leader. Ollie James had a big lead, but Ryan Smith, fastest man on track, has caught him. They're going to get into back marker traffic. James goes wide, and Ryan Smith doesn't need a second invitation to go through on the inside line and claim the lead. The new champion has gone through into lead position. Ollie James loses the lead, but he's still on for an impressive podium here. James' truck is getting better and better as meetings go past. It is not going to be long before we see him get the win. Of course, it's not over yet. Ricky Collett and Michael Oliver engaged in battle now. Collett find somebody to dice with, and Michael Oliver's going to have a look up the inside line of the HGV Direct machine. But there is Ryan Smith, this year's champion. It's his first truck racing title. Remember, Simon Reed beat him to the Division 2 title a couple of seasons back in the 2014 season, when Matt Summerfield, of course, was overall champion. But Ryan Smith here this is what he wanted, a win in front of the big crowd, having been crowned champion. He's won at every single event so far this year, set his stall out here at Brands Hatch earlier on in the year. And look at this battle between Rick Collett and Michael Oliver as Ollie Janes goes across the line in second position onto the last lap. So it's Smith from Janes. Janes' best lap at 102.8, Ryan Smith at 101.7, and still Collett and Oliver. This is for 9th place. This is for either 2 or 1 points depending on how they finish, and Michael Oliver's putting the Kelsa 12 up the inside, and the familiar yellow livery of Ricky Collett powers his way. He's still there in 9th place, but up at the sharp end. Ryan Smith's still there. Ollie Janes not losing touch too much in the Freightliner. James is going to get a second place here by the look of it. Simon Reed still trying to get round the outside of Steve Powell, who's running in 6th position. Powell has driven superbly here. They've all put on a great show so far this weekend, but it's Ryan Smith the leader, and there he is, the PT Hire Oxo truck. He's going to take a win. This is what Ryan Smith wanted to do. Racked up the championship with second place and has come through the field on the reverse grid race to take the win in race 2 of the weekend. There it is, Smith wins it, Ollie Janes in second. Smith from James, Ray Coleman third from Shane Brereton and Dave Jenkins, then Steve Powell, Simon Reed 7th from Stuart Oliver, Ricky Collett in 9th, Michael Oliver 10th from Luke Garrett, and Matt Summerfield, the Division A boys, headed by Franz Smith from Rhodey Smith, then Manuel Rodriguez and Marco Donk in 4th position.
Right, Smith, that underlines the title, doesn't it, really?
Underlines it, and you know, no pressure. And I've told you many a times on these interviews, if we get clear air and we don't get crashed into, we're fast. And you know, really enjoyed that race. Fantastic. That was for the team. They've worked very hard to make everything this season happen. You know, Arnie, Simon, my brother. The driver gets the credit, or the truck gets the credit. It's the team. It was cold out there, and what a fantastic turnout from the crowd. You know, that just G's you up, it gives you more motivation. I'm very, very, very happy.
Congratulations, mate, great win. Congratulations, Ollie, quick word.
Thank you, I couldn't believe that, second place, bargain. Get in.
A win in the offing before long?
Yeah, I think that we could have done that, but let's see what happens next race.
Simon Spedley, it's been a while since we managed to catch up with you. How's business, first of all?
Oh, after Brexit, it's really bouncing back now, so yeah, it's good, really good, thank you very much.
Yeah. Great to see HGV Direct here, and we're actually in the compound of, I believe, one of your clients.
That's correct, yeah, Hydro Cleansing, a Croydon-based business. We're pleased to serve them, and they're really good customers.
And how are you enjoying the truck racing this weekend? It's the finale, loads of people here.
Yeah, well, I think yesterday, obviously, Ryan took the championship, so pressure's off a bit, but it's been good, been a good show. A lot of people here again, really good event at Brands Hatch.
And what does it mean to HGV Direct to be involved with the Truck Championship? Is it?
Well, basically, we've got, you know, obviously today we've got businesses here that deal with us. It's a chance for us to talk to them, relaxed environment, really good event, and our branding's out on the track again as always, so it can only do us good. That's my opinion of truck racing.
And that's great to see. It's a good sport to be involved with, a fantastic spectator sport and a good family atmosphere as well.
Yeah, as you can see around you, the fun fair trucks, they've really gone to town this year, and I think probably one of the best events that I've attended, in fairness to the organisers.
That's really great to hear. Simon, thanks very much for you and your company's support. Have a great rest of the meeting, and hopefully we'll see you in 2017.
Thank you very much. Cheers, guys. See you soon.
Gives you an indication of just how much entertainment there is at these events. Terry Grant, the stuntman, entertaining the crowds, and we've got a collection of stunt drivers now about to come out, and they are headed by John Powell, with Adam Bint alongside Wayne Eason on row 2 with Brian Burt. So the Division 2 truck's about to get underway. It's a reverse grid race for the Div 2s. Powell and Bint, and away we go. It is Binty round the outside line, John Powell on the inside. Wayne Eason is in third place from Brian Burt. At the moment, Paddy Mack is in the mix as well, but it all goes sideways for Wayne Eason. Brian Burt's in the gravel. He can't get back on track at the moment because Wayne Eason was where he wanted to be. Wayne having that momentum. I think they've all got through. I said stunt drivers, they know how to get through if they can. Superb stuff. John Powell the leader. Here's the view from Simon Cole. Is he going to tame the beast again in this race? Goes down the hill. Fantastic to see the 28 machine of Jim Bennett there on the inside line. On his outside is Ryan Coulson in the 87. So it's Powell from Bint, Paddy Mack in third place, then Simon Cole. Simon coming through from row 5, made some great progress already. And in the mix as well we have Marco Donk with Rody Schmidt in this one as well. Manuel Rodriguez is in the mix as well. Marco Donk looking on the outside line here. Marco effectively, of course, a guest driver in this one, and we've tried to put the guest drivers in the races to help add to the spectacle. So at the moment, John Bowler coming under a little bit of pressure, but going very wide there is Marco Donk. And again, the trick here is to keep the thing going forward, use the momentum of the truck to come through. And I think Marco has done that, considering he doesn't race at Brands Hatch very often, has done that exceedingly well and rejoins right the way at the back of the grid. There's Mika Mäkinen, who won the race earlier on. Jim Bennett in behind him, so Mäkinen working his way through the field. And it's John Powell up front. Adam Bint is in second place. Then the 99 of Paul McCumpsky, followed by Ryan Coulson. Mäkinen goes through. Then Rody Schmidt in 44. 28 Jim Bennett. Fran Schmidt in behind in number 4 with a fair amount of work to do. Then Manuel Rodriguez. So coming back towards us on the main straight, Bennett on the inside. Very neat move up the inside from Fran Schmidt, who takes over. Heads down towards Paddock Hill Bend. Welcome back to Brands Hatch. Fran Schmidt having passed the 28 machine of Jim Bennett. Manuel Rodriguez is in behind at the moment, trying to close down. So it is John Powell up front, Adam Bint in second place, then Simon Cole, followed by Paul McCumpsky. Ryan Coulson is next up from Mika Mäkinen in the Mad Croc 71, and Coulson about to put a move on Paul McCumpsky. Coulson looks on the inside line. Paddy Mack's got the racing line though, carries more momentum, and now Coulson has got Mäkinen right behind him. Coulson looking on the inside line. Wave Jello's there, they won't be able to pass. Not sure who it is that's maybe in trouble there. Let's see if we can get a wider look. No, we're not going to see for the moment who is off there. Fran Schmidt closing in on Mika Mäkinen now. Those two had a great race at the start of the programme. This is looking back, as you can see, from Simon Cole's machine, and deals with Adam Bint. So Cole flies past the 2016 champion. Cole passes Bint. Meanwhile, Ryan Coulson to the outside line of Paddy Mack, but Paddy's got the line again into Paddock Hill Bend. Paul McCumpsky's been superb. I said it earlier on in the programme. In the run-in to the end of the season, he's been fast, he's been consistent, he's had wins, he's had lots of podia, and he's racing well, Paul McCumpsky, at the moment. Here's the pair scrapping out for lead position at the moment, though. John Powell is the race leader. Jim Bennett a little bit further back. They're going through. Rodriguez, Bowler, Marco Donk is there as well. Brian Burt in the back of shot, but this is the battle for the lead. And it's John Powell out front. Are we going to see another win from John Powell here? 41 machine of Simon Cole looking very handy indeed at the moment. And Cole, of course, has been a prolific winner this year. He just hasn't had the rub of the green that you need in championships. Powers his way around the outside of John Powell, who is second in the championship. So Cole leads, John Powell in second place as they go through Paddock Hill Bend. Here is the view back from the leader. Jim Bennett up ahead of Manuel Rodriguez. Bennett here, far from race rusty. We've not seen a great deal of him this year, which is a shame. But when we have seen him, he's proved that he's fast and consistent. So Ryan Coulson now ahead of Paddy Mack, who goes through. So Paul McCumpsky on his own. Jim Bennett passed by Manuel Rodriguez. Then we've got John Bowler, Marco Donk recovering from the little excursion through the gravel earlier on. Here is Mika Mäkinen, followed by Ryan Coulson. So Mäkinen having started towards the front in our first race and taken that victory, having to work a little bit harder through the traffic in the reverse grid race, but Simon Cole still out front. Cole leading this one, coming up the hill now, but coming under pressure from Fran Smith. So Fran Smith from nowhere has come through into the lead. Fran Smith gets the lead. John Powell is next, but Fran Smith's got the lead, and it looks like curtains and a problem for Simon Cole in the 41. When is Simon's luck going to change? We've got John Powell closing down on him now as well in the number 11. So Powell was pretty much unsighted there, very nearly clouts into the back, ultimately makes it through. So Powell goes through into second position. Ryan Coulson will be chasing Simon Cole now. Will Simon make it round into the pits is the question. And we've got problems too for John Powell. My goodness me, the two front drivers in the early part of the race, Simon Cole and John Powell, both having problems. So Fran Smith is the leader. Does that put Mika Mäkinen in second place now? We've got Paddy Mack ahead of Adam Bint, then Manuel Rodriguez, John Bowler running well at the moment in 7th place. Here they come to go on to their last lap. Bowler trying to catch up with Rodriguez. Down behind John Bowler we've got Jim Bennett and Marco Donk, with Brian Burt now up into a point scoring position in 10th. So there is Mika Mäkinen. Mäkinen is second, Coulson is third going through shot, and Fran Smith is the race leader. Fastest lap back on lap 10, 63.213 seconds, and goes along Cooper Straight for the last time. It looks like the Dutchman is going to take another win. He's done plenty of this in British truck racing this year and's got a good lead. 7.5 seconds clear of Mika Mäkinen, who's going to be on the podium again. Top Brit this time is going to be Ryan Coulson. There is Ryan in the 87 car. Paddy Mack will be second in the, if we can call it a class for the British drivers, but Fran Smith wins the race. Great stuff from Franz. I think the lead out to 8 seconds now. Mika Mäkinen will take second spot. Here comes Mika in the Sisu. It's the Foden of Ryan Coulson who takes third position. Fourth is going to go to Paul McCumpsky ahead of Adam Bint. So McCumpsky beating this year's champion, and Paddy Mack heading towards third place in the Division 2 Championship standings. Across the line they go. Another cracking race from the Division 2 trucks. Fran Smith taking the win from Mika Mäkinen, Ryan Coulson in third. Paddy Mack next to Adam Bint and Manuel Rodriguez. John Bowler was 7th. Jim Bennett in 8th place from Marco Donk and Brian Burt. John Powell did complete the finishes.
Franz, many congratulations, 3 wins out of 3. That one looked very hard.
Yes, it is started from the back. It was a very hard race with the other drivers. My brother was hitting the wall at the end of the track. I don't know what's happened, but for us it was a good race.
You must like Brands Hatch.
Brands Hatch is my first ever track where I drive the truck. And it's the beautiful track for the trucks. Short, it's perfect.
Ryan, congratulations, a terrific podium.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, the first podium I've had at Brands Hatch. I've always had bad luck and bad weather at Brands Hatch, but very well done today, yeah.
It's a mega place, isn't it, to get a podium, and also in front of such a great crowd.
Yeah, it's been a good crowd, yeah, and Wagon were well, but our division's that unreliable. Everyone were coming in, and then we just sent to get the places.
So another podium in the remaining races?
Yeah, hopefully, yeah, if the weather stops off. I don't like rain.
Nice one. Congratulations on that, and thanks for speaking to us.
Cheers, mate. Thanks a lot.
Tony Jenkins, congratulations on your recent 80th birthday party, and I gather there was a very special present.
There was indeed. They rebuilt my original race truck for my birthday party.
And that was the one you raced in 1984?
In 1984, yes. It was a fantastic surprise. The whole team, I don't know how they did it in the 5 weeks, but they did. I was very, very pleasantly surprised.
Dave, I've got to take my hat off to you and the guys for putting that wonderful piece of equipment together.
Yeah, it was a massive effort from my family and my team. Obviously, headed up by me, but couldn't have done it without each and everybody. Every team member of mine and every sponsor and everybody I knew got involved with that. And we turned with quite a little 80th birthday party into quite a celebration with it in the end. So I had a bit of paying back to do. That truck, I was 8 years of age when my first recollections of that truck. It was Dad's working truck. It was a huge part of the contribution to bringing our family up, and it was where our recent motor racing roots all began from. My brother's careers came from it, my racing career came from it, and it was a really nice thing for us to do and keep in the family, and hope it'll still be here in another 35 years' time and the memory will live on.
I hope so too. Tony, what are your memories of racing that truck? I think you raced it here as well.
Oh yes, we raced it here. We raced the opening meeting at Donington, and we raced it here and Silverstone. The only difference being was I threw it into Stowe, I think it was. Yes, in those days we used to go round Stowe. And we got halfway round, and the second steer decided it was on a different lock to the front steer, and the track rod bent, and it was very nearly all over. But we saved the day, and we came back, we converted it to a four-wheeler a bit quickly, and we never looked back. It was it was only for racing purposes. We had to put the axle back underneath it to send it to work. Those are the things we used to do in those days. Yeah.
Michael Oliver and Matt Summerfield side by side with Luke Garrett and Ricky Collett on row 2. Stuart Oliver and Simon Reed on row 3 for our penultimate race of the meeting. And here they go, it's very close and crowded. Collett's going sideways, there was contact from Stuart Oliver and over goes Luke Garrett, but Garrett's back on four wheels. That was a very nasty incident indeed. That is going to be red lights, red flags, possibly a restart, massive clearing up to do, and Luke Garrett, the most damaged truck in the field there. Collett still facing sideways, work to do for the officials. On to the last race of the weekend, Steve Powell on pole, Simon Reed is alongside, then Ray Coleman and Dave Jenkins row 2, Ollie Janes and Michael Oliver on the third row, followed by Matt Summerfield and Stuart Oliver, Shane Brereton and Ryan Smith. The Division 2's headed by Jim Bennett and John Bowler, Manuel Rodriguez and Adam Bint, Paul McCumsky, Ryan Coulson and Franz Smith. So all of the British Championship contenders on the grid. Steve Powell it is on the front rank with Simon Reed. And those very bright lights on the outside line. Away we go, Steve Powell gets away very quickly. Indeed, what a start by Powell. Ray Coleman on the inside line of Simon Reed. Side by side into Paddock Hill Bend they go, and it looks like Reed has got the better run. So Reed second, then it's Coleman followed by Dave Jenkins. Matt Summerfield looks up the inside line on Ollie Janes, but it's Steve Powell in the Lenham truck who's out front. It's going to be a difficult man to pass as well. He's done some great defending through this meeting, Steve Powell. Jim Bennett side by side there with Adam Bint in Division 2, and we've got still got third place in Division 2 up for grabs. Paul McCumsky trying to claw his way up into third position in the standings, so we need to keep our eyes on that. The overall championship, of course, sewn up. Division 1 title by Ryan Smith. Division 2 champion is Adam Bint. Third position in Division 1 behind Stuart Oliver is Dave Jenkins, and it's John Powell second in Division 2. Very difficult conditions here. It's picturesque for sure, but difficult for the drivers. It's colder than it was earlier on. It's darker. We've had the downpour as well since that race that got canned. Simon Reed goes round the outside of Steve Powell. Reed leads, Powell in second place. Ray Coleman is in third position. I tell you what, the driving standards here absolutely exemplary in very, very difficult conditions as we watch Manuel Rodriguez heading into paddock. Welcome back to Brands Hatch, the last race of the 2016 British Truck Racing Championship. Simon Reed is the race leader, Steve Powell in second, third place Ray Coleman, fourth is Dave Jenkins in the 69, then we've got Stuart Oliver followed by outgoing champion Matt Summerfield in the HRVS machine, Then it's Shane Brereton, followed by Ryan Smith. So reverse grid race, remember the positions from the previous race. Reverse with the top drivers starting at the back of the field, and Dave Jenkins looks down the inside line, passes Ray Coleman. A repeat of the battle they had earlier on. Apart from the conditions, it was Ray Coleman who had the upper hand earlier on, but Dave Jenkins goes through on the inside line, takes third position, and he's got Steve Powell ahead of him. Powell about 5 or 6 truck lengths ahead. Significantly further ahead is Simon Reed, still in lead position in the Iveco. Steve Powell in second. Wide line there around Shane Brereton from Ryan Smith. Smith exploring the grip on the outside line. There very often is grip on the outside line in wet conditions, and Smith looking to pick off a few more. I know he's happy with the championship. He's even more delighted to take that race win earlier on. Look at the lead Simon Reed's got. Now Jenkins has reeled in Steve Powell now, so Jenkins looking like the quickest truck on circuit. Although having said that, Simon Reed still has fastest lap. Jenkins and Powell ahead. Jenkins in third place challenging. Then it's Stuart Oliver in Kelsa 7, followed by Ray Coleman. Coleman coming under pressure from Matt Summerfield. Brereton followed by Smith, then Ollie James. Michael Oliver is in the mix as well in Division 1. Adam Bint, the Division 2 race leader at the minute. It'll be good for Binty to try to go out of the finish off the season with a win. And great to hear, as Matt Summerfield goes on the inside line of Ray Coleman, great to hear that Binty is going to come back and defend the championship. And that's really good for Division 2, because it gives the other drivers a target, a metaphoric target to aim for next year. Binty's going to be a difficult man to beat, as he was this year. Ryan Smith again exploring the outside line in the 88, and Steve Powell is still holding on to second place. They can't find a way through at the moment, so the Lenham truck holds second. The Digraph MAN is in third place, ahead of Stuart Oliver in the Volvo. Ryan Smith, I think, probably wants to get the truck home in one bit. All the drivers do, in fact, in these conditions. The most difficult race of the weekend, perhaps fittingly the last one. Sometimes we've seen the championship title decider being the last race of the year. Steve Powell used a little bit more of the grass than he would have wanted to there. Is that going to affect the momentum of the Lenham truck? Runs a little bit wide, and that opens the door for Dave Jenkins. Here is the view from a little bit further back. Ryan Smith, visibility a little bit lighter from the truck perspective. Powell on the outside line. Steve Powell is not a weaver and blocker, and he knows that he's on the outside, and he knows therefore that Dave Jenkins had to run through on the inside line to take second place. Clean and fair racing from the pair of them, but it has left the door open for Stuart Oliver, and now Matt Summerfield in the darker blue number 1 to go through. Ryan Smith will follow through as well. Steve Powell getting hung out to dry. We saw that happening earlier on. Once you're on the outside line, all he can do is waiting for the train to come through and find a safe point to rejoin the battle on the inside line, although Powell staying on the outside. So Steve Powell having held second place. Now, an interesting thing now, watch Dave Jenkins in 69. Simon Reed is the leader, and now we've got clear track for Dave Jenkins. We need to keep our eyes on Jenkins' lap times to see whether he can improve on the best lap set by Simon Reed. We're watching them go down Cooper Straight. Steve Powell is still there. Powell being caught by the likes of Ollie James and company, but it's 69. Dave Jenkins still there in second place. Look at conditions. It's slippery, it's cold. Outside line here for Ollie James. James is going very wide. Ray Coleman is in behind as well. Steve Powell on the inside line in the Lenham truck. We've got a truck on the outside. Steve Powell's coming into pit lane, left of shot. Steve Powell coming through. Ollie James is looking at the inside line now of Ray Coleman. Well, it all happened on that lap, but the significant thing was Steve Powell, sadly, by the look of it, going into retirement. He will join John Bowler in retirement in this race, the last race of the year. Now, Jenkins is still second. Simon Reed out front. Jenkins is not, at the moment, improving on Simon Reed's lap times. I thought Jenkins might do that, getting into clear traffic, but very clearly Simon Reed is enjoying it out front. He's got a massive lead. Here is the race leader, Lights Ablaze, Surtees through McLaren, and look back, you won't see anybody at the back of shot for a very long time. Ollie James up ahead of Michael Oliver. Behind Michael in Kelsa 12 is Adam Bint, this year's champion, of course, for Division 2. Manuel Rodriguez is behind him. Paddy Mack could get enough points in this one. He's in a potential podium position. Paul McCumpsky to take third place in the championship. You just never ever know how these things are going to finish until that last checkered flag is dropped. So there is Franz Schmidt, now about to be lapped by Dave Jenkins. Jenkins closing in on him. Stuart Oliver onto the last lap, and behind Oliver it's Matt Summerfield in fourth place, Shane Brereton in fifth position, then Ryan Smith followed by Ray Coleman, but Simon Reed is over 20 seconds clear. Here's the view from Ryan Smith going up the hill, visibility difficult, looks to the inside, goes back to the favoured outside line. Franz Schmidt in the number 4 will be lapped. Franz is going to be, he's already a lap down on the race leader, and here is Simon Reed, pretty clear. He's pulled clear, he's done absolutely superbly here from the front row of the grid, and still has the fastest lap, set on the penultimate lap. He's been getting faster. Lap 7 for Simon Reed, a 1:16.04, and there's still a chance for Jenkins to take that fastest lap away, and he's running in second place. But Simon Reed, the former Division 2 champion, wins the final race of the year here at Brands. What a drive from Simon Reed. This is the scrap for second. Dave Jenkins has got it at the moment. It's going to be Jenkins and Oliver most likely to complete the podium, but we've got Matt Summerfield, 4 times champion, in the mix as well. This is a quality field for the final of the Truck Sport organised British Truck Racing Championship. Franz Smith goes to the outside line. Jenkins comes through. Jenkins crosses the line. Does he get fastest lap? No, he doesn't. Fastest lap to Simon Reed still. Jenkins second, Oliver in third. So here's the result, the last race of the year. Simon Reed, great drive from Dave Jenkins, Stuart Oliver, Matt Summerfield, Shane Brereton, Ryan Smith 6 from Ray Coleman and Ollie James, then Michael Oliver. Adam Bint wins the Division 2 race. The reigning champion gets the win. Manuel Rodriguez second from Paddy Mack, Brodie Schmidt, Jim Bennett and Franz Schmidt in 15.
Simon, many congratulations on a stunning win, a stunning drive.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we've had a really good race, and I must admit, and took the right option to turn it to a wet setting, and it worked, to be honest with you. It started hammering it down even more, and yeah, the more it rained, the better it got. And yeah, I must admit, the team have done a grand job this weekend as well. My brother-in-law here, but this one's for him, and jobs are good.
Paddy, a podium in the last race of the year, not bad, but the significant thing is you're third in the class championship. Well done.
Yeah, we've clinched it today. We've come 10 points behind, and it was all to play for today, and like we've come through. So like, I'm dead chuffed for the lads. They've turned the lorry round this season. Fair play to all the sponsors and everything, that ABS, BL Trig, and everybody that's helped us along the way this season.
The racing is complete, and the traditional show truck parade lights up this cold November evening here at Brands Hatch. Time to grab a word with Stuart Oliver and Steve Thomas from Truck Sport UK.
So the Brands Hatch meeting brings us to the end of the first year of Truck Sport UK. Steve and Stuart, maybe you can give us your own views on how you think this year's gone.
Yeah, it's gone well. I mean, the whole season, I mean, it's gone very quick, and you know, it's come to a good end. Yeah, we've had some good racing over the year. Yeah, our first year as promoting the event, we've learnt a lot of new things along the way, and I think you know, it's been a success. We've had a lot of new drivers coming on board. We've had 29 drivers for Brands Hatch, you know, for this meeting, which is the most trucks we've ever had.
It's good for drivers to do it because you know what you want to get out of it, and you've also getting the feedback about what the race fans want.
That's right. You know, that's very important, because really we're an industry providing a service, and it's entertainment on the track what we're providing. And like Steve says, you know, the numbers have increased throughout the year. It's certainly been a massive learning curve for us, and but what we've learned we can take forward into the next year, take it forward another step or two further.
Steve, from your perspective, not racing the last couple of rounds, does that give you a different view on it?
Yeah, it wasn't good standing on the sidelines watching the lads go around. It was very frustrating. I wanted to be out there, but no, it was good because I can see what our customers and the customers for the circuits are actually looking at and watching. So I can see these little things what we need to get sorted, and I will be back and hopefully back racing with these guys and back up the front. So see what happens over the winter.
Nice one, great job this year. Thanks very much for talking to us. Thank you.
So the final table looks like this. Ryan Smith, the Class A champion, from Stuart Oliver and Dave Jenkins. Matt Summerfield in 4th from Shane Brereton. Steve Thomas in 6th from Luke Taylor. Michael Oliver, Steve Powell and Simon Reed. And Adam Bint, the Class B champion, from John Powell and Paddy Mack. John Bowler in 4th from Trevor Martin and Brian Burt in 6th.
Well, that's the end of our racing action for the 2016 season. A terrific meeting here at Brands Hatch to wrap things up. Our congratulations to Division 2 champion Adam Bint and Division 1 champion Ryan Smith on their successes. We hope you've enjoyed the season and we look forward to your company in 2017. Thanks for watching and bye-bye for now.